Welcome to Local Legends with Jess, the Arizona edition. I'm Jessica Benevento, your mortgage matchmaker, opening doors with ease and bringing you the stories behind Arizona's most inspiring people. From best-selling authors and elite athletes to business badasses making moves across the valley. These are the local legends shaping our communities. Get the inside scoop, real talk, and powerful conversations you won't hear anywhere else. Local Legends with Jess, where Arizona's stories connect. Welcome to Local Legends with Jess, and I am here with an amazing guest, Miss Morgan. Yay!
Hi, I'm so excited.
Thank you so much for saying yes. I know we only met once, but we met, how long ago was that? 2 months ago?
I think so, yeah.
Women
Maybe
Who Win.
3 now.
Yeah. Women Who Win event. And we were looking for a couple real estate badass women to go on a panel. And who?
I think it was Maggie.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
duh.
Mhm.
Maggie was like, oh, my girl, Morgan. So I was like, oh, cool. And then I started stalking you on social media and I'm like, oh, she's a badass. And you walked in, and I'm a big energy person. You have so much great energy. I need to spotlight you. So
thank you.
I don't know. Usually, like I listen to Howard Stern every once in a while. My husband busts my chops. He's like, if you want to be a really good podcaster, you need to know their background. I don't want to research. I want you to tell me your story. Like, how did you end up where you are, and where are you right now in your career?
Yeah. I'm 10, almost 11 years in.
Okay.
I got my license at 18 while I was going to ASU. I didn't think I was going to be doing real estate. I didn't even know a realtor was a job. My parents and grandparents invested in real estate. They always held it, and they did remodels. We always remodeled our own homes. So I was just always immersed in real estate, but didn't know it was a career path.
Okay.
My parents and grandparents always bought like from the seller. So there never was a middle person.
Right.
And it was very interesting to me. It felt like a game. It felt fun.
Yeah.
And I really feel the energy of spaces that I'm in.
Yeah.
And so every house that I've personally bought and remodeled, I get to live a different life in each one of them. And it gets to fit whatever lifestyle or phase that I'm in. Even the current one that I bought 4 years ago, did a huge addition that took forever. COVID was in the middle of that. So that skewed all of it.
Right.
But we're still fine tuning it and switching things now to fit the next phase that we're in, that the house still fits, but we can tweak a few things to just fit this next phase of growth.
Right.
So real estate became so important to me. I went pre-med to Arizona State, got 2 months in, and I was like, fuck this.
Right.
I don't know if I can cuss on your podcast.
Absolutely.
Okay. I was like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not interested in this at all. I remember going into my advisor's office, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
And 2 months in, they're like, how's everything going? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, it's just the general classes, but I'm like, I'm just not fully feeling it.
Yeah.
I'm bored.
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, we need to start thinking about where you're going to go after this, where you're going to go to graduate school, and what you're going to do for residency. And I was like, I just got here.
Right.
Slow down. No, I just got through all the applications and all the things.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm looking forward to. And they're like, nope, we got to do this whole plan. We need to think about where you want to go for residency, because that's going to be the whole game plan of what we're going to do to get you to graduate school. And I was like, I don't know about that. We'll think. I started ditching classes to go to real estate seminars. And that same year, Arizona State came out with their real estate development program. And I was like, that sounds interesting. So I switched to that in business entrepreneurship, and it was the best move I could have made.
Wow.
I was thrown into classes that you actually worked on case studies. Some of them that we would go around the city and we'd actually find either lots or abandoned buildings or something. And we had to create an entire game plan and almost present it as a mock pitch to investors on why someone would invest in a property like that, how you would make it like the best in case property, pitch it out, talk about the different phases that it would have to grow in, how it would affect the economy. And so you went through with your peers, and they actually brought investors in, and they would give real feedback on your ideas. And so I did that for 4 years. But 18, that's when their real estate development program, some of their classes also count for the real estate license. So I was like, I'll get my real estate license. Yeah. Got that, was living in the dorm, hated it. Yeah. I had the worst experience ever.
Really?
Moved out pretty quickly.
Was it a bad roommate or just the whole?
Awful.
Yeah.
I was in like the Sonoran dorms. They're so far away from everything anyway, and it looks like a prison.
Right.
I'm honest, they were kind of cool in a way. They had a huge courtyard. There were some interesting elements to it. But my freshman year was the year that they let way too many freshmen in. And so everything got overpiled. So we had a room for 4 of us, and we were the only dorms that had like a good living room, which was kind of cool. But because it was overstuffed, they put 2 girls, they just wheeled in beds and put 2 girls in the living room. So there were 6 girls sharing one bathroom. They were all sorority girls. I'm not a sorority girl at all.
Yep.
And I was like,
I
can't even see the countertop that used to be white. It's brown with makeup. And I'm like, I can't do this. So I ended up moving into a fraternity house. One of those, like, well, ASU doesn't have their fraternity houses anymore, but they just got a big house together. Ended up moving there because I had friends and they let me have my own room. And I was like, I don't know how I talked them into doing that.
Right.
And I would just leave. I wasn't really into the party scene until later in college. So I would just leave when things happened. I at least had my own room. They cooked, which was great. So I didn't have to do any of that. But after that experience, I was like, dorms are expensive.
They're
shitty. They're so bad.
Yeah.
So at that, I was like, I'm going to buy my own place. I have a license. I'm going to partner with a real estate agent that I like, did a ton of research.
Yep.
They were the team that I joined and worked with for almost 7 years.
Okay.
They also did infill development. So I was like, oh, this is perfect. I will do my transaction. I'll buy my first condo with you, learn it, and then I'll shadow you while I'm in school because I can't be full-time working with clients. But I want to learn the back end, and then I'm going to do all of your free marketing for all of your infill development projects. And they did all the huge amount of projects across Camelback Mountain. Paradise Valley was their main, and then Arcadia. And that's exactly where I wanted to be. Right. So I was like, just let me show up. Let me show up to the investor meetings. Let me do the marketing for you. I just want to soak it all up. Yeah. And so I did that. And when I graduated at 21, I felt so prepared to go full time. That's when I went full time, joined that team, stayed with them. Right. Became one of their like site advisors for projects. And that's when I took on my own client base. And I've been doing that full time ever since. Wow. Have jumped a few brokerages. My now fiance and I opened our own brokerage last year. We're hiring on a few people. And then about 4 years ago, I also co-founded with 4 other women from the East Coast, a company called Powerhouse Women. Right. And that's a national real estate network where we all actually share advice and real world experiences. All of these women run their business as a business, not just an agent. And so we can pool massive resources together to fit a different demographic. And so now I'm 10, almost 11 years in, and things have evolved and grown since, but it started from just putting myself into things and being like, please, let me market this. Let me sit on a meeting. Let me be a fly on the wall, and just doing it.
Just doing it. Mm-hmm. You said 4 years and you came out and you went right to that company. You were prepared. Mm-hmm. You probably are the only person I've ever heard say that after 4 years of a degree that you actually came out prepared, because it's usually you come out and have no clue. I am an example. I literally came out with a psych degree and I'm like, wait a second, now I need a master's or a doctorate to actually even do anything that I wanted to do in this field. That I was not prepared whatsoever. And that's like, unless it's specific, like, okay, I specifically want to be a teacher or, but that's amazing to know that you experienced that.
It's super, especially for real estate. I mean, you don't even need to go to college, so you don't need to go at all. I think you should. I think it's a great social experiment, especially like, I got a full ride, so I wasn't paying for anything. So I think that's even better. I have a little bit of a different opinion if you're going to school and you're paying a lot of money for just a random degree. Right. I have different feelings about that, but I felt the real estate development program at ASU was amazing.
They still have it?
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of their best programs. Wow. It's grown. I even go speak there sometimes. Like I really, really enjoyed it. It was very fun. And it was very case study-ish. Like you kind of made it your own. So at that time I was kind of interested in like the work, live, play aspect of real estate. That's what I toyed with, where other people worked on like commercial ideas. And then when we're listening to everybody pitch it, you're like, oh, you just wrap your brain in different ways. And you're like, wow, people can look at the same site and think of completely different things. Yeah. You can approach real estate and you can do it in very different ways. Like there is room for all of us to niche in our own unique way. And I think it's really cool to find out what that natural niche is for you. And so that's kind of what we started with our brokerage and with Powerhouse Women. It's more about who are you and what are your natural talents? What do you like and why are you in real estate? And let's figure out how to apply all of those things. Because if you can voice that and communicate to the right people, you're going to have a nonstop flow of pipeline.
Totally.
You're going to be in your flow and you're going to enjoy everything that you're doing as well.
Yeah. And you're going to attract the people that you want to attract.
Yes. And you're going to weed away the people that you don't want to, which is probably more important.
Totally. Now, how did you meet your fiance?
We met on Bumble.
Get out.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we had this is the invisible string theory. We could have met 10 years prior before us meeting. He was born and raised here. We both were in real estate.
And you were too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no, I wasn't born and raised here. I've been here for over a decade. Born in Santa Fe, New Mexico, grew up in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
Moved to high school in Sedona, and then I'm here.
Okay.
He's born and raised like right up the road.
Right.
But he's done a bunch of stuff, but we both were in real estate. In fact, one of our my very first lender when I bought my first condo at 19, I remember talking to him at like 17 and I was like, I know I'm not like, I can't buy anything yet, but I eventually want to. What are the steps to make?
Yeah.
So he's one of my go-to lenders.
Right.
And he knew DeAndre years before we ever met. And then he had known me for a decade. We met on Bumble. I was out of town the majority of the time. I got off of Bumble, but we had exchanged numbers. Then he was traveling, so we never could meet up. Finally met up a week before I was leaving for a month-long trip to Bali. It was going to be like my eat, pray, love kind of trip. I had gone through a really long divorce. I was very excited to just be on my own, and that was going to be my stamp of like, I just get to go be free. I kind of was taking off a little bit of time for work. I was going to come back and then just like hit the ground running. So we meet for that week, and then we never spent time apart. We were both in this fun, just like,
I love that.
we're playful. Like we are children together.
Yeah.
Like, we're adults together, but we are children together too.
Right.
And we met, and literally all we did was like play sports, play games, watch movies, do all of the things.
So awesome.
And he dropped me off at the airport, and I had to stop in Texas to meet a few clients for like a day, go to New York for the big like 36-hour trip to Bali.
Yeah.
And as I'm like waiting in line getting my ticket, I text him. I'm like, this is sad. Like we had stayed up all night talking. I was like, no sleep.
Right.
I was like, oh, this is sad. Like we're both in this like fun phase of life where we're like, we're not looking for anything serious. We were telling each other we're not looking for anything serious. We're like, a month is going to go by. We're like, this is not anything. Like, this is sad. Yeah. He makes a joke of like, should I just go home and like grab my diabetes bag? He's type 1 diabetic.
Yeah.
He's like, should I just go grab that and like join you? And I was like, do it. And he's like, well, what flight are you on? And I send him my New York flight. There's one ticket left, and it's the exact seat next to me.
Shut up.
So he gets a ticket. By the time I land in Texas, he's like, I think I figured it out. He didn't have a vaccination card. Like he didn't have anything to like, in Bali, you need that. He had to figure things out with his doctors and his friends to make all of this work. He had to figure out how to push meetings and get everything because he's joining me for a month, and he made that decision immediately. And then so like 12 hours later meets me in New York, and we go to Bali together. And that's basically, that's kind of like a long first date just extended all the way through.
My gosh.
And we had the best time in the world. We will definitely be going, that's where we're going to go get married is
amazing.
We're going to go back there.
You have to,
the first place we told each other we loved each other was there. It's going to come full circle.
Isn't that insane?
It's insane. But on that trip, our lender messaged us and was like, how are you two in Bali together? And I was like, how do you know him? And he's like, I've known him for years. He's like, how do you know Morgan? He's like, I've known her for decades. I've helped her buy like 4 houses. It's like,
that is
wait
insane.
A second. And we had a lot of friends that were like, we lived down the same street, like 5 minutes, the straight shot. Like there were so many weird occurrences that were like, and if I had seen him, like he is like my type to a T. If I had seen him like it, I would have known it.
Right.
I wish we had like a little Apple tracker map to see for like 10 years, where were we, that we were probably near each other and just never knew. Our worlds never collapsed.
Yeah. Isn't that so wild? So how long is that period of time from meeting to Bali?
A week.
No.
1 week.
Wait, really?
Mm-hmm. One full week. And we spent the entire week together.
Isn't that crazy?
But it was just 1 week. And then like, let's do a month. And I was like, you know what? I've been planning this trip. If you are ruining my trip, you can go to the other side of the island because it's cheap enough.
Exactly.
We can have our own trip, and then we can take the flight back. That's fine.
Yeah.
But literally everything that could have gone wrong didn't, which was
so cool.
Maybe a sign. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think we were just such in a phase of life that we were so almost brutally honest with each other
Yep.
that it made us closer. And I think that's helped our relationship a lot. We
Yeah.
can have we're willing and able to have really hard conversations.
That's awesome.
And they actually get to resolve, even if it's over something really small.
Right.
And I think it literally started from that first week of us just being brutally honest and then deciding, hey, let's take a trip and let's just we're living together for a month. We're dealing with all of the things.
You get to know that person really, really.
Oh, yeah. really well. And then we came back. His lease was almost up and he's like, well, let's move in together. We combined businesses immediately and we just ran with it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Now, how long were you married?
How
long was your last relationship?
I was with him for 7 years.
Okay.
I met him when I was 19.
Yep.
So met him in college.
Mm-hmm.
Our divorce took 2 years, so that took a while.
Yeah.
But I was with him for 7.
Isn't that crazy? I was with, so it reminds me of how my husband and I met, because I was with someone for 14 years.
Oh, gosh,
and we lived together and then broke up. And then I met my husband. He was visiting from Arizona to New Jersey, but same kind of thing made me think we lived in neighboring towns. We literally probably, if we had that apple, probably passed each other, probably were in the same grocery store at a bar, crazy that forever never met.
Yeah.
And same kind, totally my type. And then when we met, that was it. I moved 4 months later. We did long distance for 4 months, Jersey and Arizona. I moved in with them. Everyone's like, you're nuts. I said, well, I was with someone for 14 years and it didn't work out. Yeah. I might as well find out. You know what I mean?
Totally.
And that's it.
I'm definitely the type of person that no matter what it is, business, whatever, relationships, I'm not the person that works in this weird, I don't know, gray area where it's I don't fully know how they feel about me. Right. I'll just keep going along my life. No, if you're going to be part of my life, you're going to be part of my life.
Exactly.
If I'm doing something with business, I'm not just kind of doing something over here and kind of no, I'm fully
either all in, right?
And I think, especially with relationships, that's at least how I've always approached it. And he matched that energy so much that I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Yeah. And we have been able to go in a short amount of time so much further together.
So cool.
Because we can align in that way. And it's so freaking powerful.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So are you still in that phase? Are you ready for a new phase?
We are transitioning into a new phase for sure.
Me. What's it feel like?
We're transitioning into a really big growth phase.
Okay.
I think the majority of that is honestly stripping some things away.
Okay.
I think in our 20s, we were working really hard to throwing spaghetti at the wall. What sticks? Let's start running with that more and just doing a lot of output, which I think is super important.
Right.
But now we're stripping away some of those things that we're those don't fully feel like us. These just don't quite make sense to where we want to go anymore. So maybe we put them on the back burner. Let's focus on 2 or 3 main things.
Right.
And let's go really hard together at them. And let's just focus on those. And we're this transition phase for 2 ADHD people who love to live life to the max, do business to the max, hiring on agents, doing all the things, is definitely a transition phase of being okay, our time management, our schedule is even more important.
My biggest issue.
But then I also hate routine and structure and schedule.
Yes, I'm with you.
So that's the transition that we are in right now.
Let me know how that goes.
And we are feeling it. There are moments that I'm totally see how structure is good for you. Right. And then there's others that I'm this sucks.
I know.
Why would anybody want this?
Well, I feel like structure for people like us, because I think it's that creative person, right? And we're creative people. That structure is, to me, that feels like, what's
a
the word I'm
cage,
looking for? Yeah, I'm in school and I'm sitting there and I have to sit there and I have to listen and yes, I have to raise my hand to, you know what I mean?
And
answer
it's on,
a question.
That
their
almost
terms,
it's their turn.
Yes.
Yeah, their terms, their schedule.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's really hard. And it's funny because I chat GPT the other day. I'm like, all right, I need somewhat of a schedule. I need some.
I did the same thing.
Okay. And I read it to my husband. I said, I think I'm going to print this out. This might be it. Put down the phone at a certain time, be engaged with your family. Sure enough, even last night, I had the phone out. I can't do it.
Oh, Yeah,
Trying.
we're working on it as well. Last night, one of our things is we always go to bed really late.
Right.
And we don't need a ton of sleep. Honestly, we probably should get more sleep. And that's something that we want to work on. But we do not have a set bedtime. We do not have a set wake up time. It totally depends on what we're doing or how that week looks or what our client base is. We work with a lot of out-of-state clients, which means we work on our schedule a lot of the time, which is great. But it's just sometimes simple things like going to bed at a reasonable hour is for some reason the hardest thing in the world.
Oh my gosh.
Last night we were just like watching shows, we're talking, we're having a good time, and we're like little kids, like sitting cross-legged, being like, what are you doing today? Like, what happened? Even though we spent the majority of the day, like, let's just chat, which is awesome. Yeah. But then it's to the point that we're like, it's 1:30 in the morning.
What are we doing? Yeah.
We don't need this anymore. Like, let's go to sleep. And of course we wake up and we're like, we know better.
Right.
Why can't we do it all the time?
I know.
So I don't know.
Let me know how it works out. If print out your ChatGPT thing. Maybe if it's to me, I'm like, I read it, but then I already forgot it. So I feel like if we print it out and it could give us a little guidance. We don't have to follow it completely, but maybe a little guidance.
Yes, a little framework. That's actually something that I've been switching from just December, where I was like, okay, we're working on structure. And now I'm like, okay, we're having frameworks.
I like that.
Because you can
it's a good word.
Flow and manipulate, and it felt less icky to me, I guess. Because when I was like, we got to change the schedule around, I was like kicking myself to be like, it's only been a month and I'm already changing the schedule and not like fully living to the plan. And now I'm like, that's not who I am. I know. That's not how our business is. That's not how our industry is.
Yep.
So there needs to be an element of structure, but there has to be flexibility in there too. And when I started kind of reframing that to me, I stopped making myself feel guilty, which was great. Yeah. But I don't have a solution for you either.
Okay.
So.
we'll search for it together.
If I find one, I'll let you know.
Me know. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate you. Well, thank you for being on here. Tell me again, just before we wrap up. Okay, you have a brokerage. Are you're taking on?
We are taking on clients.
Your brokerage is called?
It's called the Order Real Estate Collection.
Right. I love that.
We're known for our little shield.
Yes.
People call us Colty. That's exactly what we're going for.
I love that.
That's our brand. Our bread and butter is Paradise Valley Arcadia, and it's more about we work, live, play, and invest in our area. That's what we're looking for with our agents as well. Okay. So we're not just selling houses, we're living that. We're living in the houses, we're living the lifestyle. So we can speak to it in a different way. Yeah. So we don't want to get big, but we want to be small and mighty. Okay. So you are looking for agents though. We are looking. But they have to be in that. Yes. Okay. They can be in different areas, but the mindset has to be the same. Cool. Okay. And then my national network, that's Powerhouse Women. That's HAUS. Okay. And that's real estate specific. Yep. And that's all female exclusive partners. And that's all across the nation. We have 55 partners now. Okay. So anybody in different states, if they don't have their market, you can join us too. So cool. Well, thank you. Thank you for being on here. You have an energy that is so just magnetic. So I appreciate you. But so do you. And that's why you can facilitate these conversations or do the panel and you can make up questions on the whim too. I can't plan anything. Clearly, I'll try to framework it next. Yes. Well, thank you. Thank you. And it's a wrap. Thanks, guys.